under sequestration because we don't have money to hold them. When I've seen articles in the Houston Chronicle where they've released hundreds of thousands in a single year, over 200,000 illegal aliens, many of which were violent felons, aggravated felons, here in the United States. Just in Texas alone, it's routine. The feds just release these people anyways and deport a paltry amount, basically a show, and raid a few meatpacking plants a year and have a big show that they're doing something. I mean, remember Homeland Security under Bush hired illegal aliens to build the wall, the show wall. So that's what's going on here. We're being held hostage. When we come back from break, I'm going to play Aaron Dykes' report that ties into Big Sis threatens terror attack over sequestration cuts. And she's saying, you don't cut our tens upon tens upon tens of billions. What's the total budget of Homeland Security? Something like $80 billion or something ridiculous. I mean, they're paying for helicopters that cost $400,000. And they say, oh, it's free federal money. The helicopters that the feds are paying for sheriff departments and police departments to get all over the country. Katie outside Houston got one last year and crashed it on the test flight. Yeah, there it is. Napolitano's speech to intimidate a mere $85 billion budget cuts with the threat of new terror attacks. Yeah, she's trying to intimate that if you don't give her the extra $85 billion, that the terrorists are going to get us any minute, and you've got the very terrorist working for NATO and the globalist and for the Secretary of State, now approved, Hagel, publicly, and then it's hiding in plain view. Just like the troops, opium production went from 10% to 93% within just a few years of the liberation of Afghanistan. And then we talk about it, and it comes out, so they go, oh, yeah, on Fox News and CNN and ABC Nightly News, yeah, we grow the opium and ship it into America and Europe, but if we catch you with it, you're going to jail. Next news story. And they did that because the troops were complaining and saying, we're being told to help grow the opium, and it's being trucked off to air bases, and this is incredible. I mean, if you get caught in your car with heroin, folks, you're going to be lucky if you get 5-6 years probation, even if it's a usable amount. I've looked at the different sentencing and what's been happening. Most of the time, you actually get a couple years in jail for being a user of a product the government grows and ships in. And you're like, well, that doesn't make sense. It makes perfect sense. They put you in their private prisons that are guaranteed 90% occupancy under state laws, and they ship something in that's addictive that funds them, that people then rob folks' houses and things to buy the overpriced product because they've made it illegal in a black market. And then when they catch you using it, they make you a slave, a nonviolent slave, in one of their factories for 25 cents an hour, competing with everybody else. And so it's the instinct to hold us hostage. Give up your rights or there'll be drugs on the street they're shipping in. Give up your rights or Al-Qaeda will attack you, that the globalists, the foreign banks that have hijacked us run. Give us total power or the economy will implode, too big to fail. And now, give us unlimited spending increases and more taxes. And they're already talking about more taxes this year after that. See, because after they get you, the debt's doubled since Obama's been in. And it's going to double again, faster and faster, and it's going to be more tax, or we're going to take your 401k. Now, that's already started. They're going to take everything. And always say, everything will collapse if we don't take your 401k. Everything will collapse if we don't raise your payroll tax. Everything will collapse if we don't double health care costs. Everything, while they're collapsing it, but collapsing it into their hands as a tool of making you poor. And now they're saying, we're going to release 10,000 illegal aliens while, PrisonPlanet.com article, building new detention centers. And I've always told you, because this is in Rex 84, congressional hearings, 1986. They're online, the whole hearings with Oliver North, the rest of it. Miami Herald, you name it. Senator Inouye saying, we will not touch upon that matter at this time, with Congressman Jack Brooks in a bipartisan committee hearings, the Iran-Contra hearings, that they were going to build FEMA centers to put citizens in and prime them with illegals, and then later legalize the illegals, turn them all loose, actually make them soldiers. The biggest part of the military is now illegals that are legalized, and put Americans, black, white, Hispanic, who aren't basically communist, in them. you're like, but Oliver North was anti-communist. You don't get this, folks. He was anti-Iran, too, wasn't he? Shipping weapons to the Ayatollahs. Folks, when you figure out the triple, double games, it's full spectrum dominance. The bankers run all of it. All of it. All the big institutions. They're trying to mop up the middle-sized things and systems they don't control. That's why the battle is on. They meant to already have this whole thing taken over by now. They're behind. They can be defeated. We'll be right back. Stay with us. I'm Alex Jones. We're going to air this key report on the other side.
We travel so much, and having a fake TV, well, it gives added peace of mind.
Burglars look for houses that appear to be easy targets. But fake TV can fool even professional burglars into thinking someone is home watching television.
As a recent widow living alone, it gives me great peace of mind to set my fake TV near a window and know that passing motorists and pedestrians will think someone is home watching TV when I'm actually away from home.
Fake TV easily plugs into any outlet, just like a light on a timer.
And they're so easy to use. You just plug them in and they're ready to go. Plus, they're so affordable that we have one upstairs and downstairs.
Fake TV is only $34.95. Order your fake TV by calling 877-5-FAKE-TV or go to faketv.com. That's 877-532-5388 or faketv.com. Fake TV, the burglar deterrent.
Fall in love with food storage savings this February at BePrepared.com. Through tomorrow only, BePrepared.com saves you over $300 with a premium 1,600 one-year supply, including 126 cans of freeze-dried and dehydrated food. Or get the new gourmet 14-day food supply with a full 2,000 calories per day with pre-planned menu. Stroganoff and noodles are 20% off with purchase of 6 or more. Mountain House pork chops are back in stock at 34% off. Pack your own low-moisture foods with our new do-it-yourself Super Pail Combo on sale at 22% off. Add to your preparedness with minor surgery kits at 15% off. And wool blended blankets are only $11.89. The February Fall in Love with Savings sale ends tomorrow at BePrepared.com. For contents and details, visit BePrepared.com or call 800-999-1863. The choice is clear. Be unprepared or BePrepared.com.
Nagging constipation, hemorrhoids, or painful bowel movements? Have you considered your toilet posture? The colon needs proper alignment for faster, more effective elimination, and that's exactly what you'll get with a Squatty Potty. Not a cleanse or a pill, the Squatty Potty is a healthy step in the right direction, is doctor recommended, and starts at just $34.95. Call 855-628-1099 or go to squattypotty.com, spelled SQUATTY potty.com. Squatty Potty, healthy colon, happy life.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
Hey everybody, Ty Bollinger here. Once again, real life, real stories.
And he discovered Carnivora, was so thrilled with the product that he shared it with his family and his friends and his patients. My dad was a family physician, he was a medical doctor.
Almost all the symptoms were either diminished or gone. Amazing product, amazing results.
It's like an amazing thing having such a profound change in how I feel and knowing that it was the Carnivora that did it.
And a lot of patients got better, ranging from immune dysfunction to allergies and infection.
Here's the toll-free telephone number to call to access the Carnivora telecast at carnivora.com on Tuesday, March 12th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Call 1-888-694-9666. That's 1-888-694-9666. Once again, 1-888-694-9666. Visit carnivora.com or call 1-866-VENUS-FLY to order now.
All right, the video of this report is up at Infowars.com. Big Sis threatens terror attack over sequestration cuts. this is an act of terrorism. They have the motive to stage terror or allow terror attacks so that we allow them to take over our society, just like Hitler firebombed his own Reichstag. Here's Aaron Dykes.
Under sequestration, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, also part of DHS, will be forced to reduce detention and removal. Perhaps most critically, it would have serious consequences to the flow of trade and travel.
So the sequestration budget cuts are here, a measly $85 billion of automatic cuts because they couldn't agree on real budget cuts that will basically do nothing to the American budget. And yet in the news, we have Janet Napolitano, head of Homeland Security, openly making threats that if they dare touch her precious Homeland Security budget, there might be new terror attacks or there might be a new wave of immigrants illegally flooding across the border. Let's play a short clip of that right now.
Look, I don't think we can maintain the same level of security at all places around the country with sequester as without sequester. Threats from terrorism and the need to respond and recover from natural disasters do not diminish because of budget cuts.
Let's just call it for what it is. It's a veiled threat. It is terrorism, and we know who the real terrorists are. We've seen countless false flag events from 9/11 on down, from the phony underwear bomber scenario used to sell body scanners to the public, and of course, the setting up of Homeland Security itself to terrorize the people. We know what it is. The dictionary definition of terrorism is the systematic use of fear or terror as a means of coercion, and that's just what they're doing. And of course, Janet Napolitano says she's not trying to scare anyone. She just wants them to plan for what if there's not enough money for TSA to grow passengers, and what to do if there's longer lines and you have to wait to get on a plane, or if you're not able to make your flight.
Average wait times to clear customs will increase by as much as 50%, and at our busiest airports like Newark and JFK, LAX and O'Hare, peak wait times, which can reach over 2 hours, could easily grow to 4 hours.
Homeland Security and other national security figures, Napolitano on down, don't want the public to even think that these national security apparatuses can be targeted by budget cuts. So that's why they want to reiterate the fear. They admittedly did it during the Bush administration using their color-coded fear chart every time Bush was down in the polls, or that he faced re-election, or that the public was beginning to doubt that the war on terror was real. Now we see it again, as we already have in the Obama administration. The fear-mongering over checks won't go out, people are going to starve, people are going to go hungry. And then here's Napolitano adding on to that the country will break down and passengers will have to wait in lines, and the TSA won't be able to do its job, and it's not our fault if there's more terror attacks. Well, we know who's clearly behind the staged phony terror in this country. We also know that Homeland Security and TSA have never caught a real terrorist, especially at airports, and that the only terrorists they have set up in charge are those led by admitted FBI sting operations. But Napolitano wants you to think that her precious Homeland Security budget is untouchable and that they have a right to occupy and control the direction of this country. Of course, Homeland Security's real money comes through black budgets and is used for continuity of government operations, setting up of FEMA camps, and a lot more. No one's even pretending to touch that money.
Under sequestration, Immigration and Customs Enforcement would not be able to maintain the 34,000 detention beds as required by Congress. It would also reduce our investigative activities in areas like human smuggling.
They want you to be afraid of a wave of illegal immigration, even though they're admittedly planning to give amnesty to more than 11 million immigrants and pretty much openly don't do anything to restrict the border. In fact, Department of Justice and others give weapons to the drug cartels, allow them to ship in their drugs and then launder the money on Wall Street. They just want to, again, control and instill fear in the American public. They're not going to do anything to stop illegal immigration one way or another, and they're certainly not going to stop terrorism, which they could just use to further their own agenda. We see through you, Janet Napolitano. We know that your odor comes from a defensive mechanism like a skunk or like a stink beetle to keep people away from your little precious jewel agency of Homeland Security. So they'll think they can't cut your budget, and you'll just excrete this defensive odor upon the people. Well, stop it. You're repugnant. You're repugnant to the Constitution. Get away from our Bill of Rights. Stop using it as your toilet paper. Signing off for Infowars.com, I'm Aaron Dykes.
Hi, I'm Janet Napolitano, Secretary of Homeland Security. If you try to